I know what you're saying.
Do you not agree with that?
I do agree with that. I feel like he was saying what I was saying.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys
though.
are stuck in the.
That's what I'm saying.
Repeated what we just said. I just said we're all agreeing.
Do you not see how ironic this is?
I do.
Then why are you arguing with me? Why are you arguing?
On today's episode of this podcast has a table. We're going to introduce a fun little game with my friends here, Tad and Jacob. I don't even know what to call the game, but we're going to start it off.
We're going to do A to Z on describing dead internet theory.
Dead internet theory, A to Z. And
Try
I'm
to
just-
explain this going A to Z.
Yeah, and I'll start it off to make it a little easy to give the premise. And we're going to start it with AI. All right, in AI,
Wait, are you starting with A or I?
A. Okay. I am me, and A is it. Okay.
Does A become before I?
A before I.
A before I.
Okay,
Except
so we're
after
starting with
C.
A.
Yeah. Let's not get in a feedback loop yet, because this episode will already be one. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So AI and the dead internet theory. So we need to describe what that means throughout our conversation, and we're gonna jump into the next portion on how that interacts with this concept. Who wants to be the next person?
You want B?
Because of AI, it seems that AI itself, because of itself, is able to talk to itself. So therefore, it makes for machine talking to machine, in a way. How would you like to follow that?
Can also
Are you asking?
be described as AI taking over the internet in a way by talking to itself and taking out the real people that are actually part of the internet.
Data is what it's all about, and the information that provides, and how it's always bouncing back and forth between each other.
Okay.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Gosh, that was a hard one to pick up back on. But we're still gonna go at it and describe.
Yep.
G?
Gee,
Yeah. Well,
gosh,
gosh,
you're
it was
good.
gosh.
You're good. Keep going. You're good. You're good.
So we are good, and it isn't good that we get stuck in these feedback loops, and we always keep having the same information provided always back to us with nothing new and apparent.
How would you elaborate on that? How that's bad?
I would say that it's bad because the AI is taking over the actual people's job as like, hey, let's give information to the internet.
Jay.
I know.
Keep it rolling.
Jail time is what should be when we have this information just being apparently bastardized and shoved back in our face and constantly being repeated.
KKK could get a hold of this technology and exploit it for nefarious purposes and make it unbearable for these machines to become just racist feedback loops upon each other.
Loops. Let's talk about loops. It's like a hula hoop. You know, it goes in a circle and it's a loop. Your turn.
Monsters is what we have created in this informational era. And it is a problem that we need to go ahead and take care of, or it's going to become issues for our future generations.
Now that you say that, I realize how serious of a problem this could be.
Outside of what y'all have said, oh God. I kind of agree.
P.
Pondering upon this question, I really wonder what I could do about this, because it almost seems outside of our range to be able to perform anything like that.
Quiet. I want to hear what Jacob has to say upon that.
You? You? I don't.
R.
I got a word for you with R.
You.
It's not your turn. Oh yeah, it's T-U and it's T and then you, right? Yeah.
We're on R.
We're on R.
Yes, you're right.
Respectively. I don't really agree. I think people are a very big part of the internet, and hopefully they will be in the future.
Surely that can't be your opinion, that you don't agree with that.
True.
It's you.
Yeah.
Sure, you.
Yeah.
Underlying issues are is a problem with the bots. So I think that most of the time it is a real person, but the bots are a problem.
Vexingly, I do agree with you.
What a word. Holy shit.
I had to really go through the dictionary on that one.
Got spicy. All right. Go ahead. Sorry. Was that it?
Probably.
You technically did W's.
Yeah.
So was that?
You said, what a word.
What a word.
I'm surprised that was so fluid, to be honest, but
What a word.
What's after W?
X.
I'm trying to do it. Why do I get these X?
Yeah, think Elon, dude.
Damn. That's not. We're gonna go.
Maybe, Jacob, there is a platform that is also contaminated by this.
Okay.
listen, I'll say that passes because that follows the conversation.
That does. We're just gonna go with that. Okay. X says the platform is part of the problems with the dead internet theory.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I agree with that. That is part of that, because there's a lot of bots on X that has a lot of conversation and feedback loops to cause misinformation on all social media platforms.
Z's is what people be catching exploring the dead internet theory, because we all be sleeping and dead, and it's just machines talking to machines at that point.
Okay. Well, how close did we come to explaining the dead internet theory?
Did we get any good information out of that?
I think there was at least some semblance. We could talk about it really more.
Yeah.
Honestly, that didn't go as terrible as I thought. That was pretty bad, though.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. We don't know our ABCs. That's the problem. That's more of the
When
problem.
we were talking, I would get lost on what you were saying because I was like, "Oh, no,
Jacob got
which-
lost on letters.
Oh, I did. That's what I'm saying. I thought I knew my ABCs. Obviously, I don't.
Well, let's start there.
Let's talk about
loops. That was a good one though. That was a good one because that's what it's all about. All this dead internet theory is these algorithms are all talking to each other and they get stuck at putting out all this spam because it's really, if you understand what spam means and where the word came from. So what do you know what spam is? The meat.
I love spam.
Yeah. So it's just a ultra processed, unnutritious thing that is just pushed out.
Whoa.
Is that the definition of spam?
Well,
Or are
it's
you
not
just
the
trying to?
It's
okay.
just what
Just
that
shitting
is.
on spam a little bit.
No, well,
Okay.
that's where the name spam came from.
He's
the
kind of
internet.
right.
I got you, Hawaiians. Don't you worry.
Listen,
Spam's good,
you
but he's
can
right.
like it, but you have to agree and understand that that's what that is. So
It's very ultra
Unproven,
processed.
unproven till otherwise. Anyway, go ahead.
okay, I'll talk to you in a few years when your colon stops working.
Spam's delicious. That's
Oh,
all
see,
I need.
well, a lot of people like it. That's why it's so prolific
Mm-hmm.
because that's the same thing with content we have and everything.
Yeah.
Like a lot of, and this isn't all TikToks or all shorts in general because we also participate in the short game, but
short
shorts, yeah, short game.
Shout out to Short Kings out there.
I'm one of those. But
They don't know that.
they do now. A king will tell himself.
Yeah, we'll see him stand every now and then. Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's just super processed, unnutritious content, and it's the same thing. When you have your spam folder, you can think of it the same way in your email, and that term was taken from that and implemented in our language.
So that's how the word spam was it originally associated with the meat and then got because it's ultra processed thing, or is that just kind of a
Well, yeah, it was slang on the internet. Spam, I don't know what the actual word is
I'm gonna look it
called,
up while you say that, but yeah, keep
but
Just
the
a good
internet-
correlation.
The internet got a hold of it and used spam because that's what it actually is, in itself. Now I don't know what its definition is legitimately in the reality part, but the internet is the reason that it's called spam now for like emails and stuff. All the emails are that because of the existence of spam already. It was
Okay.
named after it,
After the meat.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep. And
That's
Oh,
interesting.
there you go. I got one.
What?
It is kind of related.
what's that?
So the word spam comes from a sketch on the BBC comedy show Monty Python's
Yeah,
Flying
yeah, yeah.
Circus.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
In the sketch, Vikings chant the name of the canned meat, spam,
Yep.
so loudly that they drown out other conversations.
That's where the
Ah.
whole story
So they
came
related
from.
to that.
And
That makes
that,
sense.
that video I was talking about kind of spoke about that the other day too.
dope.
But that's where the language came from.
The Monty Python.
Yeah. Which, parody is what the internet's really kind of all about. Memes.
That's all it
Imitating
is.
reality as
Yeah.
usual. Yeah. Well, that's the thing about dead internet, and its biggest issue is it's kind of what you say, drowning out the conversation.
It is. It's creating a big static field that nothing else creative gets through. It's the same thing, copy and pasted 1,000 times over, and it creates a wall.
It
Well,
is, but it's not just the feedback loop on the internet. It's the feedback loop of how people
Well, in our
interact with
culture,
the
we do it
internet.
too. Even
Yeah.
without the computers, we still create spam with each other.
No, we-
Advertisements can create spam. Our mailboxes had spam before we even actually consider what that was. Like
Oh yeah.
all the junk mail we have, that's the same difference,
There's some of our interactions end up being spam in a way.
Well, yeah.
If you want to get deeper,
How's the weather outside?
in a way,
Lovely.
yeah,
Spam.
Spam.
it's kind of spam. The bringing up the weather is kind of spamming somebody into a conversation.
It is. But a lot of
I get
people
it.
don't know how
So
to
is
do
that how are you kind of thing? You know what I'm saying? Like you walk in, like
That's at least more genuine if you mean it.
But do you really mean it? Because if you say it to everybody,
I do every time I say it, at least.
so you mean it to everybody.
Absolutely, every time.
Yeah.
Every time I do.
Okay, I'm a server. I don't mean it. When I say it to
I
everybody.
deliver pizzas. I mean it
How
every
are
time
you
I see
today?
them.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care how you are. It's honestly a more.
I
of
do
a-
at least.
It's more of a let me have a
I know it's
conversation
a
starter.
formality, but I truly mean it every time. Because
Okay.
sometimes people tell me the truth. They're like, "Oh God, I'm
Well, see, that's
I'm
my-
shit."
that's
And I'm
how I-
like, What?
Well, that's how I know I don't mean it, is when somebody starts being like, oh, actually, like, I'm shit, then I'm like, shit, I wish you wouldn't have started talking about your life, you know?
I really don't care.
Well,
Trying to be nice,
I guess
you
I
know?
got a little more patience for some of these people than you. You have a different clientele than I do too, though.
Yeah.
See, I don't have to deal with them more than like 5 minutes either.
Yeah, see, I mean, I feel like you're just acting, like, for most of the time.
Well, honestly,
It's-
you do.
Yeah.
And that creates that ultra. See, you're
That acting
creating the
is
habit.
kind of spam a little bit.
Yeah,
A little bit, yeah.
It's because that's ultra processed, and everybody knows that you act this way, so that you can then persuade somebody to interact with you the way you want, so that you can then have them tip you.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping they don't know that I'm acting that way.
They will
and
now.
And I hope they know that. I genuinely mean it.
They
Even
know
if I
you're
don't.
just full of fucking shit.
They still tip me, so that's all I care about.
Well, that's what it is. That's what spam's about. You're trying to get that out of somebody. You're trying to get their attention. You're trying to do it the way that everybody's always done it without any creativity. It's just trying to level it out. It's just the same cookie cutter thing. And that's what algorithms are about in the dead internet theory, is that if you keep that up and that constantly being out there, that eventually that it's just going to take over everything and you won't have any access to the genuine connection that you'll have individually throughout your life.
He's right. You got to fry that spam up, dude. Make it mean something.
At
Make
least,
it taste a
yes,
little
be
better,
different
dude.
at least.
You just don't take it out of
Yeah.
the can and eat
You
it,
don't
do you?
take that.
You
well,
gotta
can.
prepare it.
No, you can, but then you got to put it on some bread.
So
gotta
you
put
do
a
have to
little
prepare it.
mayo
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
You got to prepare it exactly.
Yeah, that makes the
You want
spam
that
a little bit
spam
better.
To mean something, to actually dig in a little bit, and you actually mean it. Do it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, that's
you
a
just
good
taking it out
analogy
of the
for
can
it.
like a savage.
Yeah,
or
it ain't gonna
something
be
like
as
you had-
good.
No, dude.
If you
can't
cook it a
just-
little bit, you could eat the spam.
exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. Take it.
You don't really want to eat it if you don't, if you just take it out
If
of
you
the can.
don't do any prep, no,
No,
it's
it's
just
not as good.
It's just processed meat in a can. Exactly. Right on.
I'm glad that came up. That was a good.
Thank
It
you.
was. With servers and stuff and bringing that forward, because that wasn't even an aspect I really considered immediately about us being in our social lives and our waking day to day
I mean, it's just like any other work.
small
you know?
talk. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that being like part of that whole concept, which it is. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% with
Well,
everything.
Well, the thing is too is that if you're talking about especially spam on the internet or just dead internet theory as it relates in terms of the information bubble, the processed junk. It's the same way with how it just interacts with real people. So real people, even on the internet, interacting with these bots and AI creations that will just in their cells be interacting with one another that could then make websites to give it some validation that's not real validation, then affirms other people's biases on whatever subject it is. And so people think they're talking to a real
Creates
person.
echo chambers.
It creates, and that's what we're in more than anything anything now. The internet as an information tool was supposed to be this infinite library of knowledge that really has just siloed us into this narrow thing of what makes me feel good, even if it's not real and it's coming from a bot.
The internet was a
I'm locked
singularity,
on it.
and now we've entered into entropy.
Well, and the problem is there's nothing new coming out of it. Like, that's the problem with the dead internet theory. Like, once you get to the dead internet, there's nothing new you're going to get from that. It's going to be everything that has been, and
Yeah.
it's going to be all compressed into one. And, you're not going to get any creativity, anything,
Well, it can't because it's literally just working off of what we've done so
It can
Yeah.
only reference
so
itself.
far.
And it can only be creative on what has already been made by humans
Mm-hmm.
or itself. So, like, it's really not even, like I said, making anything new. So
No.
you're not seeing anything new.
It's like we spoke briefly about this. This is literally what human beings have done, anyways. We're kind of a dead internet
But
ourselves.
the difference in human beings is
we can at least break script.
we can
at
break
any-
script
yeah.
and we can self-correct to
Uh-huh.
a degree. Now
is
AI
power. I don't.
is not to self-correcting yet. It is.
You
it
say,
is-
yeah, I think it will be.
I mean, it may be, but it's not there yet.
Yeah.
The point is the problem with especially the dead internet theory is there is no self-correcting mechanism.
How's
It's
it
just
going to
loops.
know that it needs to correct its action? Because
Exactly.
all its actions are performed by what goals we've set. So
Exactly.
we want it to sell something. It's only going to know that corrective measure.
It can't perform goals we've
because
not
it
created
only
yet.
can do that by our inputs and parameters that we've put into it.
Yep.
It don't know anything outside of its box. You ever heard of a homunculus?
No, actually,
No.
I haven't.
What
Okay.
is that?
That's a big word too.
Homunculus.
You're just full of big
hey,
words
hey,
today, aren't you?
I'll pull what I pulled
If
on
you'd
tab
listen,
the other
you'd
day.
hear
Can
it
you
every day.
spell it?
Yeah, homunculus.
I'm going to go ahead.
You say a big word, you better be able to spell it.
All right, go ahead.
I don't know. Okay.
Try. Just try.
HUMUCLUS.
You were close. HOM.
Ah,
Well, anyways,
close. That was close.
I can't remember. That's not the important part. It's an alchemical topic and concept to create a life form. And the reason I wanted to mention that is because, like, we've created a life form, but it doesn't know anything outside of its flask. You know, it only exists within the parameters, and when you break the flask, it no longer will exist.
You're not going to get an Einstein or Newton from, like, which,
No,
obviously,
it's just
like,
going to
from
copy
AI.
Einstein and Newton, and that's what we have it there for. And I honestly, I don't know if that it's ever going to do that, because it's only going to know what we provide.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if AI gets the point that it actually learns beyond, like, hey, can we create something new
start
off of
to probe things in its relationship to reality, it might be able to, but
You think? I don't think it ever gets to that point.
Only
I don't.
if it can in that way. If it can probe outside of its flask somehow, then
I don't think it can
Let me-
perceive
let me-
anything.
let me-
That's
let
my
me-
problem.
let me say this.
I don't think it'll
Okay,
ever
let me
get to
say
the point
this.
where it can
E-
perceive.
Even on its limited knowledge, the best you can make it at the current moment would be able to, if you can basically get it to interpret data that is separate of bullshit, if that makes sense. So, which is hard to do because
Yes,
again,
yeah.
it's programmed by people.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, from like think like numbers or something. If like this country needs a certain amount of like steel production for this amount of people to make like these certain things, you can kind of start to get to that because it's narrowed in. And
Well,
it
with
has
numbers.
that's my point.
Yeah.
So you can get it to do that. But the thing is when people start talking about like economic problems and things like that, a lot of like political other shit gets mixed in. What I'm saying is if you break it down to pure numbers, you can maybe get it to start kind of doing that and separating that information off.
Yep.
As far as new ideas, though, maybe not so much.
That's what I'm saying. Well, a good example would be like introducing a number that has never been a number before. AI would not know what to do with that.
I don't
that's,
think we know what to do.
Let
with
me-
that.
Well, that's a good point of like creating something new. Like if we came out here and like
have we ever
Einstein
actually
or
created
Newton or-
anything new though? Because everything that we've ever got, at least in our theories, has been an observation of what was real, not that we've made.
Yeah,
it
but
real.
that's my point. I don't think AI could observe that and perceive
See,
what is
it-
as out there and then make a
it had
calculated like
sensors. I agree with you, but
Mm-hmm.
if it could have that in addition to give it, call it eyes, whatever sensors it can to measure reality, because we
But
have
it's
our
only probably
sensors.
going to measure reality in the way we want it to.
That's
the
what
way
I'm saying.
We perceive
Yeah, that's-
reality
We know
because
exactly.
We're the ones programming
That's-
it to do that.
that's my point.
And we only know, and this is a good this is a good topic too for that. We only know in our senses within 3 and 4 dimensions. We
Yeah.
don't understand and conceptualize anything after 5-dimensional intellect. Because like if you've ever watched Flat World, I don't know if you guys ever watched that.
I've seen
Heard
that.
of it.
It's it's an old book too, but there was a movie along with it. But it basically talked about a 2-dimensional entity existing, and the 2-dimensional entity had a 3-dimensional experience happen to it that caused it to just like go kind of crazy, and then it got to experience the 3-dimensional world while it only knew the 2-dimensional world, which expanded its mind and understanding. Because like within the 2 dimensions of a plane,
Yep.
I wish I had a piece of paper and a pen right now. That's okay though.
Yeah, like underneath
But,
the
like-
paper
Yeah.
and
yeah,
like,
like
on,
so you can only it can only see like on here. If I put my finger on it, it'll only be able to see like a cross section of my
what is
finger.
on the finger in the 2 dimensions.
So like us human beings, we're only able to see like 3 to 4 dimensions because 4 is kind of like time and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're able to see it out there. Like 5th dimensionally speaking, like we can't even conceptualize an understanding besides like the closest we are is like Marvel movies and stuff. Is like
With
how
the
we get
multiverse.
the multiverse stuff,
Yeah.
and the Morbius strip and all that. We can kind of get a grasp, but it is really hard to process.
well, like you said, the Morbius strip, that's actually real.
Yeah, no,
Like
I know
that-
it is
yeah,
real.
So that's
it's a very real thing that's measurable, and it's taken us a long time to even get to that point to be able to perceive.
that's
that.
what I'm saying. AI won't be able to understand that until we do. That's what I think.
because we're the ones that program AI.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
we're the above notion,
And
just
they
like
don't-
in Rick and Morty, that the battery universe thing.
Yeah.
it doesn't know anything outside of its perceived universe.
Yeah, and it's all
Exactly.
perception. It's all perception.
Because-
if the AI knows that's going on, then yes,
We've only
it can
fed
make.
If the 4th dimension is time, that's all it is perception. Time is a created perception.
It is, but
That's
it's also it's
help
also a
us,
thing
It's
too.
an
to
illusion
help
and a real
us.
thing at the same
You
time.
can measure it any way you want to, but
I
it's
know,
still
that's my
there.
point.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's still there.
Time as numbers is
That's
our
why time is relative
parameter.
because we have set
Yeah.
measurable parameters.
But time
of
is
it.
a real measurement. It's just how you want to like
There's
put that out
just
there to measure. it.
Obviously, some progression.
It's just
of
a progression
Yes.
of existence and change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we
But-
just measure it the way we want to
and
measure
we want to
it.
call
yes.
you're late to 6 o'clock. You're now a piece of crap. You're not on time to work. So,
Don't look at me like, like you're talking to me.
Dad, I have to make it equal here. No, I'm
I'm
actually
sometimes late to
I'm
work.
actually I'm actually being unfair. It's somebody back there that I have to talk to.
Producer being late or what?
Matt just really leans into the relativity of time. Dude. He's just a big relativity of time believer.
It works on his end.
It does.
Which is also true too. At the same time, both those aspects of my reality and his reality kind of crash because he's existing outside of my parameter of time, and I'm existing outside of his parameter of time.
Yeah.
But you both understand each other's parameters.
I said,
And-
meet me
and-
under the sun
yeah.
at this rotation, and he doesn't know when that is. So
You just start marking it down a little bit better, like keeping track with it.
Matt goes by the moon, not the sun.
I didn't take that into account. Okay,
He said, "I can't even see the moon tonight." What are you talking about?
That's what's been messing you up.
it's tomorrow. What do you mean? Exactly. But yeah, no, that's the cool thing about it too. Like with that, because I think that's true about AI and the way that interacts. Because we're only being fed whatever information we got, and we got our senses, and it's gonna have its senses, and unless it creates another way to have a sense that's outside of our understanding,
I don't
of
think it'll ever
senses,
happen.
I don't.
I'm not discounting it.
I don't
Okay,
think.
it could
The
if
more
it.
we understand
But
consciousness,
we would
the
have
more-
to. We would have to create that for AI to understand
Yeah, it
perception.
can't
That's
move in this dimension.
well. That's
But you don't think that the more we understand our way of understanding, that we can't create a thing that understands faster
maybe,
than us?
but we don't have that. That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
see,
Like
Not
we,
yet.
we
I'm
would
saying
have.
it's still a possibility.
But we would have to create that for AI to use that to understand
For
perception.
sure. But
yes,
what-
but
but
it
here's-
can't just create it. That's what I'm.
Let me go a little deeper with this. Though.
Okay.
But the same way you help me out here, the same way you create a
Come on,
computer
Grandpa.
a computer program, you use simplicity to create complexity that can eventually.
Yeah,
do
But it's on a
complex
scale though.
things
Like it's
to
still on
learn.
a scale.
Oh, have you heard of the?
It's still like it.
Fibonacci
I know,
sequence.
but
It's the same
point
thing.
Is that if you create something that can do human things and has like a human perception of consciousness, it will do human things to then create its own. And if it can do those things at faster paces than what humans can process, it can process those
It
things
already-
faster and then pass humans on
Okay,
how it processes.
But it already does that.
No, but that's to create within the parameter. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is if it can start to originate its own things from that foundation the way we do, but faster than it will surpass
It's gonna
us
have to
in
be
that
able to,
parameter regardless, but it'll still be faster. Than
It
us
won't be able to
able
see new things
create.
without us introducing
gonna
the new
have to
But
be
things.
if
able
we
to
teach it
take
how
resources.
we understand and create new things, it will do those things
But it-
faster. Is my point, and it will be beyond us.
But it can't see, can't hear
Yet.
like that.
yet,
It can't.
yet,
It could.
I
It could
just don't
make
think
an
it could get that.
artificial. I mean, we make hearing aids and other things.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying,
frequency
yet.
readings, and we
which
you know,
are inputs.
They are
Inputs from us.
Well, no, okay. Well,
Mo-
yes.
That's what. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
And you're right, but the thing is, if it's able to perceive what we've gave it already, and it's able to build and interact with the resources that we give it to get more resources,
So can a baby. That's what I'm saying. Like that.
Okay.
But
You,
faster, dude. You're understanding.
I know. I,
speed
It
here.
can use
I know.
you
I know.
to
I know.
learn.
Babies to grow to a full human being is 25 years. You take an AI that's been processing and process things so much faster than that.
Yes, faster.
It's
I'm
ahead
not.
of us
I'm not
in-
arguing with
in
faster.
weeks.
I'm not arguing with faster. I'm arguing.
Days.
I'm arguing that it can't perceive anything other than what we input
I
as it
understand
perceives.
that,
That's
but
all
if
I'm
it
saying.
Can process faster and then learns to create.
It
even if
won't
it's
learn to
on-
create. That's what I'm saying. It won't learn to create
I
other
think
than
you're wrong.
this is a free will argument.
I think you're wrong.
other than what we have already made. It won't create anything
We
new.
do the same thing though.
What? No, we're different though.
We
Does
are
this,
right now. What I'm
does this
saying
thing
is
have the capability? Is it going to eat from the
But
tree of
we're
good and evil?
We're programming.
Is it going to be
from that,
capable
though,
of that?
dude. Maybe we're not there yet, dude. We're just starting this thing.
It can't. I don't think
You're
so.
right. It can't. Not yet.
I don't think it will.
We are in 2025 when this.
You know
thing
what
is
that means,
still
though?
in its infancy.
We're gonna have to give it the option to betray us if that's true.
You don't
That's-
think people
that's
will
the
push
way-
it to that limit? It's
Well,
out in
no.
the open.
Well, no, I agree with you, but the only way that it does that is if it enters into that.
The fact that we can conceive of a creative motion art of something like even iRobot and relative things, and we have this technology.
Yeah, I can think.
that. Then we're going to push it to those limits.
Our robot's a little different.
No, what I'm saying is the fact that we can perceive of it happening, and the fact that we now have more of the grasp of the technology means that we're going to push it to those limits.
But this is my thing.
It's
That's
Pandora's box.
But that's different. So our robot's more of an example of like, hey, like I gave you a protocol and you chose not to listen to that protocol.
Exactly.
But
Well,
not creating
but it
anything new.
can't.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
How does it interact?
But now it has
and not?
choice, and now it has free will.
Well, how
but
did
I
it
still
get
don't think
there?
it can perceive. I'm still.
If it does that, then how does it?
I
What is
don't.
this-
I don't know.
What is this
What-
sequence that it chooses?
I don't know yet. The point is that we're still.
Are we going to
unlocking
offer it an
that.
apple?
We might, and it
Like-
might turn down the apple. That's what I'm saying.
If it does, it's smarter than us.
and it might.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
like
We're not getting biblical here.
Is that
I'm
if you-
doing it.
If humans are creating it off human understanding, and we try to program it down to a T of how we understand things, that could be everything from morality to
Well,
just simple
our
tasks.
understanding
The
of
point
things is
that
also
it will
incomplete.
start to replicate that, and then
Uh-huh.
at the processing speed that machines are able to work, it will then surpass that and do its and kind of start doing its own thing.
I don't-
in
It
that
can't.
way.
It can't create anything that has not been created.
Yet.
It only is
Not
by
yet.
reference.
We don't create things that have not been created and used for
Yes, we
reference.
have. Yes, we have.
No,
We
no.
off of reference.
We
No,
we
use it
have.
off
We-
of
no,
reference.
we have.
It's a constant build. What?
Maybe
What
not
has
in a
been
long time.
We
created
observe and
math,
copy.
science has been
Was it
created.
built
copied
off-
from reality.
It's copied
But
from
I'm saying
reality
we-
and language.
No,
and
you're missing
models
me. You're
of-
missing
of
me. You're missing.
accounting.
You're missing this. We have looked out in nature and been like, okay, obviously these chemicals and stuff go together. This is obviously something new. This is science. We created that.
But where
I'm
did
saying
it
it
start?
can't do that.
We didn't.
That's what I'm
we
saying. It
didn't- we
can't do
didn't
that.
Start at the vaccine or at these medicines from a point. We started this over 100 years of process, basing it off of other things. Is my point. That
Other things
machine
we
will do-
created. Other things we
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
created.
okay, did you go
That's
out there?
what I'm saying.
Did you create the rock?
Discovered.
No.
Exactly
Discovered.
my point. This was already
Discovered.
Okay.
there.
Use that word. I don't think it'll discover anything. That's
Okay,
okay.
you
You don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's capable of discovery?
No.
If you have sensory inputs and you put human
sensory inputs from what? Humans?
you're limiting your imagination.
sensory inputs from what?
You're
Humans?
limiting your imagination.
I don't disagree with that, honestly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wait, sensory inputs from
It
what?
doesn't matter, dude. Okay, so sensory input from humans. Follow
Okay.
this
We already
logic.
have made
Follow
sensory
this
inputs.
logic.
Okay, yes.
Sensory inputs from humans. So what do humans do? We discover and we create, correct?
Yes.
So if we're putting those same inputs into a machine that can do it faster, how would they not use those same sensory inputs to discover and create at a faster pace than us and then surpass us? That's the point.
They probably would if we've already discovered
Exactly.
it. If
That's-
we've already discovered it, yes.
No, because
yes,
if they have
yes,
the same inputs
yes.
of discovery and creation, they can do the same
I don't
thing
think it's
faster.
possible. I don't think it's possible.
Then you have a limited imagination.
I don't think so.
You have a
I think I
limited
have a
imagination
realistic
on that.
imagination. I think I have a realistic
You have,
imagination.
you have a realistic imagination of the time, but you don't know where this could be in 100 years once it's been built off of.
No
Think of
one
the
does.
Computer, dude.
No one
the
does.
Computer used to fill a room, and now it fills this tablet, your phone, dude.
That's
they
crazy.
put it down on that scale in less than 100 years. You're missing the big picture.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
And,
Use your imagination.
and limits from what we've done, not
Well,
artificial
whoa, whoa, whoa.
intelligence.
Hold on a minute.
We're
Hold
We've
on.
putting
done.
the same inputs in.
And we've made that. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
Fine.
It was
We
only
made the
from
computer-
reference.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Sorry.
sorry. Yeah, no, you're right. It's only from reference, though, of everything that we've experienced and viewed in the world. Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
No. But because
You're
of
not
that,
scaling it up,
we've.
dude.
I don't think
he's
it's
missing
possible.
One,
I don't-
he's missing
I-
one thing.
Go
We've
ahead.
gave AI sensors that it can read things.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
it
look at
can go
cars,
out
anything,
into
yes.
reality and sense and measure things, that
Yes.
if it has
That we've already made parameters
proverbial
for.
eyes, okay, even though the eyes might be a laser, it's able to at least build a construct of reality from the basis around it and understand something while it's recreating its own like perceptions. Okay?
Yeah, from the parameters we gave it.
We
That
may
doesn't
have
matter if we gave it.
but it's
It
still
does
using
matter.
Our same perceptions that we gave it. That's my point. If we do
Similar
the same-
perceptions. Similar perceptions.
Yeah, it's not the same because
Similar.
it's going to be
But even similar, it doesn't matter if its
It's
processing
still-
speed
yeah.
is faster. Then it can still do.
I'm not
some of those
arguing about the
functions.
processing speed. I know it's faster. I'm telling you, it's
Okay.
not create anything new. That's what I'm telling you. It's not going to create anything that hasn't been
It will
done.
create something that would feel new to us if the processing is that much faster.
See,
because
I agree,
it has
it's not gonna
already
create
went through
anything
all
new.
of those loops that that we had to go through for hundreds
Tad.
of years and done those things in like months.
From
That's
the stuff
point.
we've already
Tad.
made. That's
Tad,
what I'm
well,
saying.
Hold on.
Listen, wait. Let me explain it.
Okay.
No, let me explain it. Think about how long it took us to take the size of a computer to put in a phone, right?
Yes.
Now, the AI at let's just say 100 to 200
The AI
years
that we
ago,
made, yes.
That we made,
Okay.
that we gave our sensories and our sense of discovery and possibly
Not the
creation.
same, but similar, yes.
Similar, yes.
Yes.
Okay, now take its processing speed. Now, it has realized that you can turn, what was it they used to use, like tubes or bulbs? For computers, for large computers.
I
was
mean,
it
they
tubes?
used tubes to create like screens and stuff, but
Well,
they didn't use.
but like that was.
Well, what I'm saying is the things that it used to take like a computer, like a huge computer, to put into this small thing that we can put into a phone, to turn into transistors and all those things.
We're getting into quantum computers now, too.
It has put this in. It could have figured all that out in a day if its processing speed is fast enough. So it's using the same data.
We made that though.
No,
whoa,
We
whoa.
made that.
You're missing.
You both are wrong, and I'll tell you why. It's because it's a realization for the technology, and it's nothing new. He's correct. The same way that we can create nothing new, it's an observable
Yes.
world.
My point
but
is, it's
a
observing so much-
realization
Yes. Go ahead.
and a
Sorry.
process that is coming to fruition with the technology. If it's able to perceive, it will eventually perceive everything that we've perceived.
That's
And
what
be-
I'm saying. I don't think it'll create anything new that hasn't been done.
and I agree
new.
with you because
That's all
won't.
I'm saying.
It's only like this stuff already exists out in the ether, and people might disagree with my philosophy on it, but it's there. Reality is a constant there that we're realizing.
Vacuum tubes, transistors, into integrated circuits. This is my point. No,
Okay.
what I'm saying is humans discover and we build off of already things that we know to make them better.
Yes.
Wait,
That is
yeah,
how,
100%.
that is
You
how
agree?
we
Yes.
invent.
Okay.
I agree.
What I'm saying is that an AI model using the same or close to the same senses that we give it would take those things and do them at such a faster pace because they have a faster processing speed. Faster processing speed
Okay,
to the point that
I'm not arguing that.
that it passes us to what we may conceive, and it may appear to us as if they invented a new thing. But it's not. It's that they were able to go through those processes of realizing what was a better way to do something so much faster.
I mean, I agree with you, Tad. Like that's not. There's nothing
You're
you said
saying
there
it
that I
couldn't
don't
invent
agree.
something, but I'm
No,
saying
no,
it's
no, no,
doing
no,
it
no, no.
the
What you
same
said? No, no.
way-
Let's go back to what you
It's doing
said.
it the same
No, no.
way as
Listen to
what
me.
we
Listen
do
to me.
it.
No, no. Quit. You said that
Inventing
it
doesn't
did.
happen.
No. You said that it did something faster that we thought was something new, but that wasn't something new. I agree with you.
That's what people do.
Okay, but no, that's what I'm saying. It's not gonna create anything new. It might do something so much faster that we're like, oh shit,
might.
I've never
How is
seen
that
that.
any different from the language you were using to describe what people
I said
do?
it's not gonna
he's
perceive
right. Listen to
anything
him.
new.
You're not listening to him.
I say it's not going to literally make anything new. It's not going to make any new discoveries that we haven't already made. But if it does something so much faster that it seems like it's new, that might be true.
It's going to come
That
to
might
a
be true.
But
realization.
that's creating a discovery.
That's
If I
not
dis-
new.
if I
That's not
discover-
creating
if I
anything. That's
discover-
not
If I
creating
discover that a
anything.
transistor
Hey,
works better than a vacuum
hey.
tube and I can minimize it, that's considered a discovery and something new. That's
It's
how
using the
everyone
same
processes
technology
it.
that you had. That's what it's using what you made
This
as
is a
human.
language fight, and that's all it is. It's This is a feedback loop, and we're stuck in it. We're stuck in the feedback.
Get us
loop.
out!
All right, I'll tell you how. You both are right, and you both are wrong. All right, and you have to understand that both of you.
I like the first part. We're
Call
both
him a
right.
fence sitter.
Yeah.
Call him a
No,
fence
no,
sitter.
No,
One side of the fence, the other side of the code. Yep.
I can't help you. Both are incorrect.
Go ahead.
All right, your perceptions are both correct, but you guys are using language that is trying to defend a perspective while saying the exact same thing.
I agree with what he said.
I know it, but the difference is he believes that. Okay, so you're putting out the idea that it could make discovery and it be made new. Okay, so no,
Well,
no,
it would be new
So
to
it's-
us because
okay,
it's doing it so
exactly.
much
but it's
faster.
not new.
it's new
It's
to us.
not new.
Well, hold
It's
on,
new
hold on.
to us.
New to us.
You would say when a phone came out, that's new. If you've never had a phone
Innovation.
before.
No, innovation. Like
Hey,
we've
it's
got.
Still
Hey,
new.
hold
You
on.
didn't have a phone. Now you have a phone.
We've got better
disagreed
at-
with what you just said.
I know, but we've got
Yeah.
better.
Fighting him.
I know.
I just
don't know why.
No.
We're
seriously,
agreeing
though.
and you don't realize it.
No. Seriously though, like with phones, if you want to take that example, like that technology has already been there, and we've got it better.
I don't
like
think people. Okay, so
At one point, there wasn't phones though.
yes,
There. What was it they
Yes.
used? What was it they used? The telegram. And then it
pager?
had to- and then there was a phone, though. It's
Is
my
this a drug
point.
dealer?
It was built off of information previously known or had started to be discovered to be known, and then there was phones. That's my point, is that at one point there was the first phone.
Uh-huh.
That's my point.
AI didn't make that from new technology. That's all I was saying. That's all I'm
AI
saying.
would you...
Okay, feedback
That's all I'm
loop.
saying.
All right, we're gonna have to jump.
You
away
see
from
what I'm trying to say
I
here?
understand, and I understand what he's getting caught up on, and you're getting caught up on, because what it is, technology. Oh, you definitely are. The technology is a realization has not been made yet. That's what technology is. An understanding of reality that we have to manipulate something or have it work in our favor. And we
Sorry.
don't touch my stick.
Just help me out.
Yeah. But it's just unrealized because the technology is already out there and already exists true in the world. But we as a human being come along and we combine a concept or two to create a idea. Like we have created time to do what we want. Time has already existed outside of it, and it's true. But we create this standard, and that is the thing.
And there's a lot of
That
things
is-
like that. Astrology, like some of these things, AI would never be
AI
able to create
can
without
create
our
a
guidance.
standard, but it cannot create the technology that is already there. You know what I'm saying?
That's what.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Do you not agree with that?
I do agree with that. I feel like he was saying what I was saying.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys
though.
are stuck in the.
That's what I'm saying.
Repeated what we just said. I just said we're all agreeing.
Do you not see how ironic this is?
I do.
Then why are you arguing with me? Why are you arguing?
Because you were saying it can't.
It's semantics. It is semantics.
No,
at this
why are you
point.
arguing?
It is semantics. Because you were arguing. You were like,
No,
AI
you're
can't
arguing.
discover
Because-
anything we
No.
haven't already discovered.
AI can
guys-
discover anything
Yes,
in
it
this
can.
fucking world
You guys need to listen.
Yes, it can.
Your
that we've already
language-
made. Yes.
No.
Yes.
New things off
No,
of
we
things
can't.
we've already discovered.
Yes, that
This is
we've
the
already-
way we do things. It's the
Yes.
same fucking
That
thing.
we've already discovered. Yes.
Okay.
You got.
Sucks.
You got it right. Congratulations.
Hey, so this is literally. Not again.
Stand up.
Not again. Okay. All right. This is literally the entire concept of the dead internet theory. Your both languages all proceeded to fail into entropy to the things that you most related to be able to fulfill the concept, but you both did not come to terms with the reality of what you both were saying. So it all was just spam that you were spamming each other with. Quit it.
What?
Quit sending him spam.
What, dude?
It's oh my gosh. Oh, that is unreal. Actually, it just unfolded right there. That was the perfect explanation of what's going on.
You're welcome.
I just needed two idiots
tried.
to help me out.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
so
You're right.
unaware of what we were doing.
I used the wrong.
We're
language.
just trying to
You're right.
teach you here.
Yeah.
Dakota's
I'm
here
so
to
good.
teach you.
I'm so glad that I have such geniuses to help me
You're welcome.
in my relationship.
We're glad we could help.
Your brains will help me decipher this reality more.
You're welcome.
Because you're a different perspective, and in computers, you're like a different nanode.
We know.
Okay,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know. Genius guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Electrons and protons going. Whoo,
Yeah,
you know.
dude.
Just so much. I'm just so proud of both of you
He's
for
our
being.
neutron.
Jimmy.
Nerd talk.
It actually makes so much sense.
Told you, dude. Fucking geniuses, bro.
Oh, exactly. But you guys are fighting the whole time, and you
We're
both
not
are
fighting. We're
swapping-
loving. You're perceiving it wrong
No,
now.
no,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
here we are again.
Misunderstanding language.
Right here.
Just misunderstanding language. A negative comes in contact with a positive, and they both flop.
We
They
love
switch.
each other. I don't know what you
Great,
mean.
bro. We
Yeah.
attract.
You definitely do. You definitely do. Oh man,
That was fun.
Yeah.
you guys have a weird standard of fun.
It's called chemistry.
Something AI would never know anything about, right, Ted?
Exactly. No. They can figure it out.
Oh, so you? What do you abandon your entire point now?
They can figure it out.
Wow.
Well, okay, so we'll do a little shift here.
Okay.
All right, expanding on this, instead of just talking about the AI portion, what you were talking about earlier, as far as how we kind of mirror the dead internet theory in our own lives.
Yeah, our human being in its it kind of recedes. It's brought into the world as a singularity of information, and our consciousness kind of goes out. But then we, as human beings, don't keep striving to expand more. We fall into the entropy of collapsing into singular. I don't know, branches, just to call it branches. Our neural
is.
pathworks, whatever you want to call it. And we repeat the same patterns and habits within our being that end up being spammy.
Well, let me ask you,
because we know that they work, so we want to have it work again.
Exactly. Do you think it's like laziness, or do you think it's like innovation, us trying to make things easier for the human race?
It is both in some cases.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that we're able to, but we also like to just hit the orgasm button like I've spoke about before. It's easy to get there and have a little bit of pleasure right quick. We know that if I say this, I can get Jacob to do something for me.
Why
Well,
Jacob?
it's not even.
If I yell at, if I get both of them to yell at each other, I could just sit here and watch them all try to fight each other. You know?
Yeah, you can distract the
just troll
teacher
them.
for 5 minutes. Yeah.
I know that I'll get what I want out of it, and it's a selfish perspective.
But
though,
I don't think it's just the orgasm button. And maybe along the same lines. I think it's just also this.
we don't always do it, but that's a
No,
big
it's
thing.
it's kind of a content.
That's what
It's a
addiction
content.
is that repeating that because you know that you want to get that whatever it is out of it. You know that
You know
you'll
where to
it
get the
again.
dopamine hit.
You know, right?
Well,
You
that's
know
all
where
it
the
is dopamine.
satisfaction
Yeah.
is.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, dumb question, because I really don't know. What's the difference in dopamine and serotonin as far as what it does for your body?
Serotonin makes you that's what like makes you in a good mood. Dopamine is what hits you like right, like you know you.
See, I think it's so. I think the serotonin problem is the thing too, which I think serotonin.
but dopamine's worse. So
But
you.
people get in a content cycle to where they don't want to break out of
Yeah,
parameters
okay,
because
so-
it's easy.
But that's better than being like, oh, let me eat, like, example is like a chocolate cookie. Like, let me eat this chocolate cookie. I'm going to get a dopamine hit for like 5 seconds and then
I
it's
agree.
gone.
Chocolate actually does secrete dopamine in your mind too.
Okay, well,
It's known
that's
for
fine.
it, and that's a cool little fact about like venom stuff. Like why you like chocolate is because the brain.
literally, though, for like,
Doesn't-
like
but
5 to
doesn't
10
a,
seconds and then it's gone, though.
Yeah.
But doesn't wouldn't you say that maybe if we're relating it to brain chemistry, you disagree with me? It's fine. I'm not saying that there's
No,
not
I just
the
want to
dopamine
add
hit.
one thing too.
go ahead.
So dopamine also is the habit. It in your brain is the formation of you get dopamine to you when
You do something that
do
makes you happy.
something that you know is gonna. It's the thing that wants you to keep doing it.
But can
it says, "Good
serotonin
job."
lock you in the cycle?
Let me.
Serotonin, no,
I'd be more
no.
educated.
Dopamine.
I
by
don't know.
itself-
I'm literally
Okay, so
asking.
dopamine
Yeah.
and these things
I don't
aren't
know.
bad. It's just the balance of them.
No, I know. I agree with
Seroton-
that. The balance. of it,
Serotonin
yeah.
and dopamine together create love in your brain too.
Yeah.
Like when they're mixed like evenly. Mm-hmm. So that's why you're in love with that. And I think serotonin helps dopamine not be as constrictive.
Okay. So that is actually a better balance to dopamine.
Yeah, but
Yeah, serotonin is better than dopamine. It controls your mood.
Better is such
It
a
works
bad word
with
for that.
melatonin to help you control
they
when you
both
sleep
are
and wake
very
up.
important.
No, they are. I listen. I'm not trying to oversimplify
Yeah.
brain chemistry here. I don't fucking know. What I'm trying to say.
It's a reward system.
Okay,
That's
hey,
what we
hey,
have.
hey, here we go. Dopamine is involved in movement, coordination, and feelings of pleasure and reward. Serotonin is involved in emotions. So it gives
So
you
a little bit.
There you go.
What I'm saying is I guess in my brain,
It's like the intellect and intuitiveness at the same time.
I was relating serotonin to more of, and again, language problems here. Serotonin related more to how we perceive the words content and
more emotion based.
I guess.
That's
I
what
think
it said.
the
That's what it
contentment,
said.
though, is more of a dopamine issue.
You think so?
Because the emotional basis, honestly, emotions cause negative attack, which wants to make change.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah, so, and I think dopamine is more, what we might
Is
consider it
serotonin also associated with negative emotions?
well,
Brain scientist here.
serotonin sickness you can get
Go
from
ahead,
taking too much psychedelics.
Taylor.
Tables.
Dopamine is associated with a sense of wanting more, while serotonin is associated with a sense of contentment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that
that's
makes sense.
the
Okay.
opposite of what
Yeah.
you just said.
So what's associated? What in the brain chemistry
See, I
starts
don't
associating
where
with
did you get that
negative
from? Because I don't
emotions?
think I agree with that from what I've read.
No, that makes sense. That make-
Overview.
I am on to you. You are not going to get me.
What in serotonin, brain chemistry.
See, I that's exactly the opposite of what I've heard before. Is because the dopamine is the pattern that's set forward, and that's what would create the contentment.
I mean, this thing says serotonin, similar to dopamine, creates a long-lasting feeling of happiness or well-being.
Because when you take,
so it's just low levels of it.
So-
It's just the absence of it.
if you take, we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about drugs.
Yeah,
here.
low levels.
We're gonna talk about drugs.
Yeah,
I didn't know
low
we were
levels
gonna
of
go.
serotonin, you'd be in a bad mood. Yes.
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 I feel like I knew that.
Because when you take mushrooms and you go on a psychedelic trip,
Mm-hmm.
it releases the serotonin, and that's what elevates you to be so euphoric.
Yeah, this thing says
But
low
it doesn't release dopamine because it's not addictive, and that's what causes that. While if you take heroin, dopamine is a higher thing to
Then the
create.
serotonin, and therefore
And
it's more addictive. because you're
depressants
chasing
are-
the dopamine.
Yes.
Yes.
This thing
Okay.
says, you ever feel like your brain is in a fog? It's because you got low serotonin. So that's what it says.
So
Like,
let me ask you this:
if you're in a funk,
Maybe
low
you know this.
serotonin.
If you're on a trip and you start having a bad trip though,
What kind of
you
trip?
have
What do you mean?
higher level like a bad
I
trip?
was talking
Like,
about
like
drugs.
like mushrooms?
Yeah, like
Okay.
mushrooms or acid, whatever it could be. If you're on a bad trip, which I think just like anything in life can help with growth, but it provides negative emotion.
I believe
It's not
firmly
like
in
you're
the
lacking
value.
serotonin there. Is it just you're lacking?
Maybe you're
um,
lacking serotonin. It could still be you're lacking serotonin.
No, I don't.
Not at all?
No, because what happens in your brain chemistry, like you get stuck on wanting or changing something, and when you go on a bad trip, you always focus on something that you can't immediately control, and you send yourself into a spasm.
See,
It's almost breaking a cycle a little bit though.
yes,
that's how your
why
brain
I think
starts
bad
to,
trips are good trips.
see, not to talk about too much. I've never had a bad trip, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
it's
okay,
life changing.
oh, that's what I'm
being
saying.
honest.
Well, I feel like it's all mindset though too.
It is-
Like
it's
I've
it is.
I've always
It's part
been
of
like
it.
I'm not going.
I haven't
You've
had
been in
a
a good
I
place
don't.
when you.
I haven't had a
yeah.
bad trip either, if you want to call it that, because I realized the lesson immediately.
Yeah, and you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I feel like some people are like,
Well,
this
they
is
get,
not.
and they think whatever, and they get stuck.
Yeah.
And that's why people sometimes create this psychosis when they take psychedelics, is because they get stuck on a pattern, a feedback. of
or they get
constantly-
scared. Like I'm
Yeah. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
And,
something
like,
new's happened to me. I don't know what it is, so I'm dying.
Yeah,
like that's
which,
not.
honestly,
like, that's a bad thought.
I want to take that concept, if you're ever in that position, and don't openly like seek to physically die, but let your mental being actually fade.
Or to let it take over.
let it just, if it's doing it, experience it. Have a taste of death. for a
Lean
minute.
into it.
If you try to
Lean
fight it, that's
into it.
Lean in.
Don't fight it. If when
Lean
you fight
with it, rock
that's when
with
you.
it.
That's
It's
when
a
you have
Chinese
a bad.
finger trap, dude. Like, don't fight.
You pull away, the more you're stuck.
Yeah, honestly, and those.
Well, that's the thing.
You get in
too,
your own
is
head and you create these demons, and then you want to be just, it's all messed up.
with the disclaimer of not advocating for drugs, but if you were to,
Yeah.
in a non-advocated way, that's why I've always said it's better to go in with a plan. And if you are on a bad trip and you've had too much,
I never go with a plan. No, I'm just kidding. I do all the time.
If you don't,
But-
then you're the whole time you're like, what are we doing?
listen. But if you get in a bad trip,
Intention is
the
important.
easiest
Yes.
way to get out of it is to do something that is very safe and familiar.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. And it helps break that habit. And I think that's a good thing for, I didn't know we were going to talk about that, but that makes for good realization
Yeah.
into like how to perform that in your day to day, is because that is literally happening to you even without the drugs.
Well, the thing
in your
is,
waking
too-
day, your mind is already doing that. You're doing that to yourself. You already have chemicals going on constantly.
Yeah.
This is just like a balanced trip. You know what I mean? Nothing's like out of whack. You're not feeling any particular way. Everything's kind of level. But on your day to day, if you notice somebody makes you mad, you don't want to keep focusing on being mad and let them control your emotional being. You want to let that just go. Letting go is such an important
See what's
part.
crazy? I heard somebody talking the other day, and they said like, you have a bad day or something, get in your car. Like you go to work every day in your
Yeah.
car. Said do something familiar like that. Literally, go get in your car like you're gonna go to work. Like because you're in there every day. So like it's just something familiar.
It's
and-
separating yourself from it, allowing yourself to digest it, but at the same time, it is kind
I
of
think
like
doing something completely different too is also very healthy.
That's good too.
Whatever-
Yeah, if it's
whatever
something you
is
enjoy,
separating.
it's gotta. It's
not avoid.
I know
just
it's
separate.
something you enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Oh,
Yeah,
enjoy.
enjoy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Because like to step away, like it's good to recognize, but like if you were doing something and you know that oh no, I'm stuck in this habit. I'm depressed and I'm sitting around. Like, it's good for you then to break that habit by going and see. This is a good example. I actually took a trip a few years ago, and this is actually physically going.
Where'd you
somewhere. Yeah, I went
Mars.
to no. I went to Savannah.
Oh, okay.
This was an actual
took a trip?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And this was just one of those things that I was in my mind. I was like, I have to break habit. I got to get better. We're not gonna sit and stagnate. I'm gonna go away. I'm going to the beach.
a good idea.
And I went and I slept in my car for a few nights out there, and I had a good time by
With
myself.
Tybee, didn't you?
Oh yeah, dude. Tybee
place.
is beautiful. Also,
Great place.
Nice.
beautiful.
Yep.
And I loved it so much. And it was good because you just go and you break your habits and traditions that you've already set for something that you know would be good for you. You know, just to be done of a cycle.
Yep.
You know, to completely take the Ouroboros out of your. If anybody knows what Ouroboros is,
You know, I
It's-
just thinking
it's-
Loki when you say that.
well, okay,
Bora Bora.
no, seriously,
Spell it.
it's
Yeah.
these old language. Okay, I'll try.
He's used like 4 words I don't think he could spell today.
Well, these are like weird repeating
They are.
words. It's like O
Hold on.
R O B O.
Is that why they called that character that?
Yes.
Is that why his name's
It's-
that? Okay, I didn't know.
it's
Okay.
the cycle.
All right, I didn't know that.
It's
That's
the
cool.
cir- it's
All right.
the
Snake eating.
That's cool. Okay, that's
Yeah, no,
because
it's
that's what they talk
alchemical.
about with the
Yeah.
TVA. Yeah.
Hey,
The-
And it's
hey. O-U-R.
Oh, yeah.
No,
B-O.
Let me-
Oh, sorry.
because that's
Sorry,
cool.
go
Because
Yeah,
apparently Kang found this book that the TVA made.
Yeah.
But the TVA didn't get the book until they got it from Kang.
Yeah.
You
So
talking about
like it's a
Tennessee
snake
Valley
eating his head.
Authority?
And
Huh?
The Tennessee Valley Authority?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's crazy. That's cool.
also
That's
that
cool.
Ouroboros symbol you can completely like translate to being the Mobius strip at the same time. It's the same kind of thing. You have the loop.
So that's why they have Mobius.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's
That's
what's
cool.
going on with it. It's like the recognition of the cycle, the circle, and you being able to break it. Because within mythology, the snake is usually like viewed as a tempter or even a medicine because it's both. It provides a
Greek,
solution.
Yeah.
Well, I respect Loki
And
even
that's
more now.
when we have we look out and we look at the oh dude, there's so much symbology in that.
Oh, it's a great show.
Oh, I
a great
love
show.
it. But that's why the medical field uses the caduceus with the snakes.
Well, that's off of, what's the Greek god's name?
Hermes.
No, not Hermes. No, it wasn't
Aries?
Hermes. It was a
It's
different-
not Aries, right?
No, it's
no.
Hermes.
It was the Greek god of, like, health. That's why.
what? Okay.
Aries or something. I don't know.
We'll see.
It was, Asclepius. See? Because it had a rod with the snake in it. That's why they have
Anyways,
the rod with the
this
snake.
is also referenced.
Sorry, I
Here,
just
no,
remember
no.
this because I just
Look
talked
up-
about this the other day.
Yeah, look up Hermes though with that. Because
I'm
he was
pretty
in
sure that's
Greek-
the origin of why we use it in medicine, though.
Well, yeah, but he predated Greek.
Did he?
Yeah, yeah.
He was Greek.
Well, okay, he's been used a few times throughout history. Hermes Trismegistus is a larger figure. But
Is it
anyways,
more,
the
is it more
caduceus.
Christian?
You clicked
No.
shopping for me.
Oh, you're welcome. Let's buy one. But that symbolism kind of exists too within the Bible. There's a lot of alchemical stuff. Like I forget in what chapter it was exactly.
He
but-
does. He also has a similar
Okay, so that's why.
snake
Okay.
thing.
But it's
Yeah.
all that is, and also with the Indian.
There's his penis.
You're born.
Bricks are so cool that you're showing off their cocks. Holy shit.
Hey, the smaller cock, the better in Greece.
Right, man.
Anyways, with Hindu religion,
Can we talk about how small the Greek gods' cocks were?
I want to get away from the wiener talk.
Apparently,
What
that,
about snakes?
hey, apparently that was a good thing back then. Apparently.
Oh my gosh,
Can we go back?
time is cyclical and it
There you
returns
go.
in patterns.
That's right.
One day it'll return to another point.
This episode of This Podcast Has a Table is brought to you by DeadNet Solutions, reviving your internet one meme at a time. Is your internet slower than your grandmother's flip phone? Do you feel like you're browsing the ghost town of cyberspace? Well, with DeadNet Solutions, they specialize in bringing your connection back from the dead. Features of DeadNet include zombie mode. When your Wi-Fi dies in the middle of a binge session, our undead bots will resurrect it instantly. Phantom speed boost. Say goodbye to buffering. Even ghosts won't be able to keep up. Hauntingly affordable prices. Starts at just $6.66 a month. They don't take souls just yet. Special offer includes the first 50 customers get a free 404 error detector that alerts you when your neighbor is stealing your Wi-Fi, and you can kill them. Please do not kill your neighbor. So don't let your internet rest in peace. Call DeadNet Solutions today. It's time to exercise those dead speeds and resurrect your online life. All right, go ahead.
All right, as we were saying about the
What were we saying?
symbolism of the caduceus
Snakes.
and being in the medical identity and everything, and people associating as such. Because when you have a bite and poison enters your body, you literally take the venom to make an antidote. So that's all part of that. And in the Hindu religion, you have the Kundalini.
Kundalini.
And if you see, it's also two snakes, and they're represented to go up your spine and reach your crown chakra to hit enlightenment. So you have the two snakes also climbing your spine, the two energies in you
Gotcha.
existing and going up.
Honestly, that's the best. Like, if you want to be like, hey, how did this world happen? The best like thing to say is like pretty much snake eating itself. Like how, like other than if you want to go like a religious route, like how else did everything happen? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
and that's what represents in the original sin, biblically speaking, is we keep entering into a relationship with our sin, which is us repeating the same problem over and over and over, just rebranded.
Well, that's what I was saying,
Yeah.
though, too. I made this joke to you the other day. I said, what if we're just God's dead internet?
Yeah, no,
Because
that's
we
what I
are
was
so
referencing earlier.
cyclical. Excuse
And
me.
until we make that realization, we can't change. And that's what the AI can't do yet.
You can't make that realization, so therefore it's there to repeat cycles.
And it's going to
and
repeat.
it never
and
will.
repeat. I'm just saying we're terrible for introducing a conscious being.
never will.
You agree, Tad? You agree? It never will.
That it'll never.
We just spent 30 minutes
Yeah,
with
we
you both
already-
trying to do that. We're not
did
returning.
this.
I'm getting out of this
did
cycle.
this.
All right,
We're going away.
Shh. He's talking.
Yeah. Shut the
Stop
fuck up.
biting your tails,
Pussy.
guys. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should bite his ass. You know what? Bite his ass.
Ew.
My ass.
Gay.
Well, quit
No.
it. Quit trying to quit hissing at him. Stop.
He's over there making sounds.
Yeah. I'm a snake.
Leather
I'm a
snake.
slippery little snake. But you know that symbolism and everything going along with that. That's the cycle, and that's really big within the alchemical identity. Quit playing with my pole. And that is kind of the whole point of the dead internet theory, in my opinion. It kind of represents back to old mythologies and other things.
I think everything does. Dude.
Oh, it does. It's because it's referencing what is. We only,
And what has happened?
we only know our reality to the way that we can experience it.
Life is just a fun mirror house.
Hey,
Yeah, it is.
how long do you think this all has been here? You think it's been here longer than what they say?
What?
Or do you think it's pretty accurate?
What's
the
what?
world?
Actually, I
What do you-
think
by
the
what do you
world
mean?
is a.
Like, I mean, they obviously their prediction is when humans have actually like became, you know,
Yeah.
like
I
civilized
think our
and everything. Do you
perception
think?
of reality. Okay, so let me try to phrase this. I think there is an eternity in this reality, but us in our experience is experiencing it on a lower scale. We're in a matrix per se, if we want to use that wording. You know, and it's just allowing us to experience ourselves in a safe parameter without really damaging our.
Hey,
true
Okay, another
being.
Andrew Tate agrees, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. Tell me about it.
He talks about the Matrix a lot. It just
Oh,
seems like
oh,
you
is that
guys
all you
kind of
mean?
line up on some
Okay.
things. Interesting.
Okay. I don't know much about him, but maybe I'll talk
That's
to him
probably
one
good,
day.
actually.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So does Keanu Reeves, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's
so
important to know.
I think the way we perceive time, it's probably hitting around the ballpark.
You think so?
The way we perceive it. I think,
Well,
I
what
think
is
even-
that
but I
though?
think
What is that though? Because if the world's been here for
The way-
millions of years, then
Yeah.
this is just a drop in the bucket, really. Like,
Yeah, it is. I agree.
well, yeah, and I,
I mean,
think
if
we're
you
trying
believe,
to.
if you believe in infinity to a degree, even if it's outside of this, and this is created within a realm of infinity, I mean, yeah.
I think everything exists within infinity. Honestly, all of eternity is within it.
so you don't think it'll ever end? You know, like the world will
Well,
ever end?
what we perceive as will perish and pass away.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. I think you.
I think everything, and that's it. it's always in flux, and we're always trying to get a hold of what we're understanding. But it too will pass and fade away into something you don't recognize anymore.
But it
I
can
hope.
also be cyclical.
Yeah. Good
But
thing.
and that's
Kind of like the Futurama when they get the time machine and they go forward and then it's just all repeat.
see.
And they're
Well,
like, oh, this universe happens to be like 6 feet shorter. It repeats itself. It's possible. I don't know.
and that may be true too. We talked about it last podcast. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Come on, man. Like
Yeah.
You
that
wanna-
premise is great. Have
You
you ever
hear
watched
something? What?
it? Everything, everywhere, all at once.
I still haven't.
I don't think so. Oh man. Is it like a time
I'm getting
machine kind of
free-
thing?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought we
No.
were on the time machine thing. I was,
Well,
about, I was about to tell
okay.
you. I was about to tell you Back to the Future is bullshit.
No, but no. It's more of like a
More multiverse shit.
Okay.
multiversal understanding of things and just like experiencing stuff as a human being.
Can we all agree that Back to the Future is bullshit though?
It's a great movie, and I'll allow
It's fiction.
the concept.
Yeah,
of,
but
to be-
bullshit, right? Like.
Fun.
Time doesn't work that way, right?
it's
like,
fun.
okay, all right.
It's fun.
As long as everybody understands time doesn't work that way.
I wish I had a piece of paper so bad.
Future, a corrector of actual science. No, you're
Okay.
absolutely right.
Okay, so
you are
That's all
hitting
I
on
wanted to
some.
hear. That's
you
all I
are
wanted to
hitting
hear.
on something new here and groundbreaking. Proud of you.
That's all I
These
wanted
are my
to.
geniuses.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He figured out. Dude, this whole time I thought Back
That's
to
all-
the Future was an actual
need it-
representation of how that
Everybody
shit works.
loves Back
I
to
need
the
it
Future,
cut,
and I
though.
just.
Yeah, it needs to be cut, and I need to like tape them together so I can show. Do we have scissors in here?
No, we have them outside of here.
No, I won't
What are y'all
worry about it
doing?
then. I was gonna show like the more. Okay, so let me just.
I know the
explain.
Mobius
Okay,
thing.
so the,
Yeah, I know
Yeah, I
that.
do too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Just the
if you
snake
cut
eating
that,
itself.
yeah, but if you cut that down the middle,
It's the same thing.
and then you do it, it just expands
Exactly.
it again.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because that's time is in that. Like,
That's what I'm saying. It could be cyclical. And
It's
like,
just
if
like-
that's the,
it just
the perception.
infinitely is.
But
You know?
but time is made by our own accord,
Well,
though, too.
well,
so
the way that we are.
conceive
Yes.
time is an
Yes.
illusion
Yeah.
by human standard,
yes,
but the
measurement
progression
is there. Yes.
of it existing is permanent. It's tied with space.
No, for sure. Because
You know?
I mean, you look at light years. Like that's a good example. Like you can see stuff that happened billions
Because
of
it
years
is
ago.
relative to where you are positionally to his. Because there's a theory, and I think Einstein also partook in this. But the more human beings and more perspectives that were around it, it is believed that time moves faster in that area. But the further that you are away from other sentient perspectives, the slower it is.
So Interstellar.
Yeah.
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 Another great
exactly.
movie.
Yeah,
Another great movie, yes.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
There's actually a hand trick that's like kind of gets this away too. Here, Jake, you can see it on the side of the table.
Okay.
All right, come here and look. You idiot.
He got me. He got me.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna see
knew it.
something
I
cool, but
knew
no.
it.
You did, dude.
I mean, I had to
Honestly,
look.
bro,
You
good
did, dude.
job. Good
Yeah,
job.
That was-
I got him.
I
was gonna do it.
I was.
They didn't get you.
I got
You
it.
ain't even
I
getting
got
it
it.
from
I
me.
got
I mean, I was gonna pull it away anyway.
I know
but,
you were, dude.
That's why I stole it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for not leaving me hanging, Dakota.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
any day. But yeah, it's just interesting.
It is interesting.
Big fun house.
And that's the entire point with that. And that's why it's so important, I think, as being a human being, is we're able to perceive and understand what that concept is with the dead internet theory and apply it to the rest of our lives and expand past our already existing parameters to be more. We can be better by your language.
real. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's our job to realize how it works, because it again just reflects our own lives and how we can get out of our own
It is.
just cycles to break that and actually do meaningful things in a way, not just repeat the cycle and get stuck in the dead internet,
Because
in
it's
the dead
easy
world.
sometimes to exist within that same parameter because it's proven.
Yeah.
But where is creativity and the love of being a truly human person is to expand past those
That's
bounds.
supposed to be our separation point,
Yeah.
and there's times we lose that.
And you're not gonna see that with AI. So that's the problem.
That's possible. It might not even understand how
Maybe.
to do that. See, that's the
Maybe.
issue.
Ted,
Yep.
you're not gonna see that with AI.
Maybe.
All right.
Honestly, it's possible. 'Cause
Okay, we'll just say it's possible, so we don't have to
We
argue.
had a fucking oracle here.
So we don't have to argue.
we had a fucking goddamn fucking Apple genius over here. Yeah, do you see? Oh man, never mind, dude.
Oh, that's just a pimple, not a thing. Never mind. No, I'm just playing.
Didn't know. Fucking wearing a Lakers hoodie, dude. I didn't
Indian.
realize he's a fucking wizard. Jesus,
You're a wizard, Jacob.
crazy.
Washington.
I know, dude, but apparently you're a wizard.
I could
You can
be.
predict the future.
Could be.
Yeah.
Got better predictions than this fucking clown.
Hey, I got. You know what? I think you're both clowns.
He's
You just
the one that got a
reflected
big
each
red
other.
nose.
Yeah.
You just reflected each other, and I'm over here. I'm honking both your noses. You know.
Listen to this guy.
The one wearing a size 15.
Yeah, dude.
15. Size 15.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Big shoes, clown shoes. Are you stupid? Are you stupid?
Yes,
Are you stupid?
Yes, yes. I need you to be my genius. I didn't get the clown joke.
You're right, dude. I forgot you're a goddamn wizard.
Talking about red nose, and I say big shoes, and you don't know what that means.
Size
I guess
15. I
not,
thought he
dude.
meant my shirt. I was like, oh, you called me
I
fat.
did.
I'm sensitive.
Say that, man. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. Finger looking good, you know.
Yeah. Got anything else?
Man, I don't know. That was a trip, honestly. I didn't expect it to go that direction.
It took a route
It did take a route.
through the mountains and everything.
Oh,
Number
really?
10? All right. That's
pretty good.
There.
Yeah. Well, that was honestly fun.
That was fun.
Anybody got any cool internet theories? I would like to hear from them in the comments.
Yeah. Any comments? Anything? Questions for us?
Say something.
Yeah. Make sure it's not a dead internet. Prove us wrong. Prove it wrong. Expand past these
There are
AI.
real people out there.
Please ask Tad questions. That's what we want to.
Yeah.
Ask Tad.
I
want to
make fun of him more, to be honest.
I will do Tad answers your question.
Tad mailbag coming up next.
All right. I appreciate you all very much. If you'd like and subscribe and also follow us on any kind of platform we've posted this on, it'll greatly help the
What are we
process.
on? We on TikTok, YouTube?
Well, we've got TikTok, we got the YouTube, we got the Instagram, we got the Facebook, we got the RSS feed, we got every subsidiary besides Apple right now.
Okay.
We're working on that one.
You got to say the free on YouTube.
Free on YouTube. You even get to see our beautiful mugs.
Worldwide, the big beautiful internet.
The big beautiful internet.
This podcast has a table. Yeah.
This table has a podcast.
at all.
In another universe, we're going to have the table talk for us.
Yep.
So, all right. And thank you all, and good night or good morning.